Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome back to some more Total War Rise of Mordor. We are back with another online battle, but this online battle is a bit special because this was sent in to me by some of the groups on the Rise of Mordor Discord channel who have gone ahead and sent me a bunch of replays which are all intertwined. They have been going ahead and playing kind of like an online Dungeons and Dragons-esque campaign where they just play like online battles which are all intertwined and they kind of lead on from one another. So for example, if say, Isengard in one battle burnt down and ruined an entire Gondorian town, then in the next engagement, maybe Gondor and would call for aid and try and bring more people in. So basically all the battles kind of follow on from one another and they're kind of created on what happens in the previous one. So for example, in this engagement, which you'll go ahead and hear a pretty awesome narration by officially Devin, which make sure to go check him out in a second. He'll go ahead and kind of set the mood for the battle. But yeah, this is the Siege of Esgaroth. The Easterlings have kind of snuck through the defenses and went to go ahead and hit the Dalian swordsmen as they are unprepared. So because of that, as you can see, the forces of Dale are completely and heavily outnumbered. So that's basically what it's going to be. And if you do really enjoy these story-driven campaigns, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. But what I think is awesome about this series of battles you're going to be seeing on the channel is if you do not give a flying fuck about, the story and you just want to see battles, then you can just go from, video to video watching these battles as if they were individual engagements. However, if you like to have backstory, if you like to have cool narration, then hopefully you'll really enjoy these battles. And if you want these guys to create more stuff like this, more story-driven battles, more scenarios, then do be sure to go ahead and drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know that you want to see more and let the guys know who made these battles that you want to see them create more fun engagements. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. I'll go ahead and let Devin's awesome narration play. Make sure to go check him out. The link will be down below in the description and in the comments as well. He's an absolutely awesome YouTuber. And yeah, let's get ready for this engagement.
The evil forces of Harad and the Easterlings, through the use of great mischief, have managed to slip past the sentries of Dale, and have managed to carry out a surprise assault on the city of Esgoroth. However, the men of Dale will stand their ground and defend their homes, no matter the odds.
Okay, so there we have it. That was absolutely amazing. I really do appreciate when officially Devin does help me out with the narration. He always absolutely kills it. But going into the battle, as we can see, Esgaroth is under siege and the Dalians are heavily outnumbered. However, if they can make their stand here in the city, if they can push back the forces of Harad and the Easterlings, that's going to really benefit them in the next engagement. But can they do it? That is the question. So taking a look at the enemy forces, we go ahead and have the forces of Harad over on this right hand side. They're kind of equipped with some pretty elite heavy infantry to begin their campaign with. Some of these swords of the serpent. They also have some of these spears of the serpent who are going to be pushing up the siege towers and the battering ram. The swordsmen are currently climbing up to the top of that siege tower. We also have some more of these red sand skirmishers as well. So something you'll also see as this campaign progresses is the armies getting bigger and bigger as money, whenever a battle is won by a certain side, they get a certain amount of resources, they get a certain amount of upgrade points where they can upgrade their units, upgrade their siege towers, etc. So you'll see kind of these beginning battles being with more lightly armored units, maybe not as much elite infantry as you're used to, and then as the kind of campaign story develops, you'll see a lot more elite infantry coming into the fight. Then we have the forces of the Easterlings. The Easterlings are going to be holding the center of this battlefield, and they go ahead and have a bunch of these retainers with pretty nasty axes, which are going to be great at piercing the enemy formations. We also have some of these sentries back here, the pikemen, who are going to be easy pickings for the Dalian archers, who are very strong. I love the kind of feathers off on their pikes as well. That's very cool. Then finally, they do have some more of these shield bearers, who are kind of like a hybrid archer unit, which is very strong, along with some crossbows as they begin their little siege on Esgoroth. So unfortunately we don't have a custom map or anything, but this was kind of the closest they could get, so I appreciate them at least trying to get kind of an Esgaroth-esque map. Then we finally have the last Easterling force over here. Again, they're going to have very much the same men, some of these elite axes instead of the kind of sword variant. Again, these guys are very, very deadly. And they also have their cavalry forces, which has moved its way around. Because one of the interesting things about this city is that there is actually an entrance in the back of it. There's a bridge which leads into the city where the attackers can try and use and abuse. They can't deploy over here, but they can go ahead and position men after the battle has started and push on. So the Dalian forces only have 28,000 men, but for a siege defense, that's pretty nice, especially when they're playing as Dale. And you've got these marksmen of Dale. Like, the Dalian archers are so good. So the fact that, Dale are, running into position now, if they can get their archers to bear on the enemy, that's very good. But obviously with the lore of this battle, the Dale don't have hardly any time to form up their defense because they were taken off guard. The Eastlings and the Harad forces snuck through the sentries to attack Esgaroth. So because of that, the attackers are going to be pushing their men forward, pushing their siege towers forward, and the Dalian forces are going to have to rush. And that's going to tire them out, moving their way to the defences. Quickly, to the defences, to the walls, men! The rest of the Dale force is going to consist of these swordsmen. We have a few of these watchpost sentries, so some pretty average units. But Dale, Dale aren't going to be kind of smacked to the teeth with elite units. Not that anyone is really going to be having a ton of elite units, but, you kind of have just the basic Dalian defense force right here. Not a bunch of the elite kind of Vineland Guard or anything. Just, marksmen and swordsmen of Dale. So it's going to be a very interesting battle. And even though the balance of power is heavily in favor of the attackers, I don't think it's as clear cut as that. Siege battles are always a very, very interesting kind of scenario, and if the defenders can kind of hold these choke points, keep these towers alive, I suspect that they will go ahead and do a great job at least wounding the enemy. Because I think as well there are rules for how many people that Dale do kill. If Dale kill a set percentage of the enemy forces, then that's going to help out, whatever happens in the next battle. That's going to affect the Easterling army. That's going to affect how Harad play. Or I guess how the evil side play, because I believe it is good versus evil. So you're going to see kind of maybe not necessarily Harad and the Eastlings in every battle. Sometimes the evil factions will be playing as Isengard, and obviously vice versa. You'll have like the elves, Gondor, all kind of approaching for the good side. But, if the evil factions can take out Esgoroth here, that's going to be a huge blow for the defenders of good. But, this was a surprise attack by the forces of evil. So, they definitely have that for them. Does look like Dale, though, are immediately going to be giving up the walls as the men do come flying in. And this is probably why. So they can just shoot their arrows and pick them off bit by bit. It's not a bad strategy to let the enemy have the walls. I personally don't do this just because I think the towers do so much damage. But this is not a bad idea. These archers will do a lot of damage and just pin these guys down. However, it does give the evil side opportunities to put their own crossbows on the wall. And you guys know how deadly that can be. That's a tactic from like Medieval 2. Where you can simply just put your crossbows on the wall. You take the walls, put your archers up there, and you just demolish the enemy. And it is no contest. So we've got the siege towers in the center, more archer fire coming off here as the forces of Harad are on this right flank trying to push up this battering ram under heavy missile fire. They do have them amazing shields right there which are going to be protecting them. You can see a lot of arrows are going off, a few kind of finding their mark through the little gaps, maybe hitting a few people in the foot or something. But the battle is going to be brutal. More infantry coming off here, and this is just great. I'm surprised that Dale gave up the walls. I guess they didn't really have enough time to fully form up, and they are planning on just defending these exit points. But as I said, this is a great opportunity for the evil side just to put their archers on the walls and shoot down on the forces of Dale. These axemen are going to be doing great against the spearmen as well. They're just such a deadly force. More of them marching up as well. But I mean, just look at these towers. This is what I'm saying. These towers are so good. They're shooting so many arrows already, taking out, tens of, almost probably hundreds of men by the end of the battle. And there we have it. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. And this is like so deadly because if these crossbows can bring their crossbows to bear, they're going to do so much damage. But it looks like the forces of evil are really, really struggling right now at breaking this down. The towers are proving very strong. And these gates, I think, need to be taken out as quickly as possible. Over on the other side again, yeah, they're struggling to break through. Luckily, the gate over here has been taken down. That's going to give Harad some easy times to push up. They've also brought up all of their archers as well. These archers are very lightly armored, so we're not going to take a lot of missile fire, but they can output a heavy amount as they continue to harass the rangers right here as well, who look very awesome. The bloody hay is getting ruined. So the gates have been taken over here? Yeah, the gates have been taken, which is great, because I think that stops the burning oil, if I'm not mistaken, and that should allow Harad to push forward. We do actually see some Dalian infantry sallying out, trying to give the defenders, buying the defenders some time, as much time as physically possible to form up. But yeah, as I said, I think it's only a matter of time until these defenders go down. The gates have been opened as well of Esgaroth. The Trojan horse has succeeded, and now these pikemen flood into the city. Men of Dale, hold your ground. One of the downsides though of putting your men on the wall is that they're going to be easy targets for the Dalian archers, which is exactly what we're seeing. The Dalian archers are focusing these guys down with their superior range, so I guess it's not all bad. But you only actually have a few archers up here shooting as well, because as you can see, they have a perfect view. But again, these guys are just going to melt infantry if they can focus them down. I don't know if they're actually in range of anything, but if they are, they will melt whatever they come up against. Well, these pikemen are in a tricky situation right now. They're basically just being picked off by these rangers, who actually are just down the road right now. This reminds me of like Alziliath, where the rangers, you know, when Faramir's running, he's like, Faramir, get down! And the archers take out like 10 orcs. This is basically what it is right now. They're just shooting down the path. That's absolutely awesome as the rest of the defenders form up. So how's the rest of the battle looking? So the cavalry is ready to pour into the city. However, there's a lot of pikemen here. However, whilst these pikemen hold this position, that's going to buy, you know, the pikemen aren't going to be elsewhere defending choke points. If we look over here, Harad are really making their push known, trying to break through this defense. And we only have the watch post sentries defending right here. The watch post sentries are going to be trying their best. They're doing no match for the spears of the serpent. So I think eventually they're going to be going down. But the longer this burning oil flies down, the better. Burning oil is horrific. And one of the interesting things about this story battle, there we go, the gates going down. One of the interesting things about these scenario battles is, like, there's no escalation in this battle because it was a surprise attack, right? It took the defenders and Dale off guard. But maybe if this was like a siege that had been going on for years or months, we would start to see more siege escalation, maybe defenders being wounded to begin the battle. That would be really, really cool if they set up a battle that maybe a siege battle had been going on for years. And they did the beginning of the battle off camera, where they maybe just shot some of the defenders a little bit to wound their units. So like the defenders start off with like all these mismatched defenders. So like you have like 114 out of 160 in the battle. And that'd be a really cool engagement, you know. And we start the battle just as it properly engages, you know. After the kind of defenders have taken their casualties and kind of then formed up, you know, they just walk outside the city and they shoot them a little bit. That'd be really, really dope if they did something like that. Just like unique ways to make battles feel more immersive is what I am all about. Wow, that spearman right there is taking an arrow to underneath. Oh, that's underneath his shoulder blade as well. That's brutal, just under his shoulder pad. I'm surprised these watch post sentries have held off for this long. They're doing a pretty good job. I mean, oh yeah, this is so bad as well. The archers are just focusing down these Dalian swords who are struggling to get fully stuck into combat here, fighting some of the swords of the serpent. It's an epic duel going on right now. Who's going to win this? I mean, this Dalian swordsman is, yeah, is severely outnumbered. The men of Dale are struggling as the forces just pour in more and more men flying into the breach. It does look like they are going to try and defend this gatehouse though for a little bit longer, as they form up ready to push forward and overwhelm this defense. Over on this position as well, you can see that the retainers are trying to break through with their heavy axes. And I mean, I think they're going to at some point. This is going to take them a little while to do so. The cavalry is being worn off right now, but as I said, like holding off these pikemen, these Vineland pikemen, keeping them here is so valuable because they're not going to be elsewhere in the engagement. So that's a really good move. More and more of the men are just reforming. I assume we're going to be getting more men pushed up. Okay, the crossbows are going to be sent round the side now. This isn't a bad idea either. Sending some additional support to the cavalry just to loosen up this the defense is actually pretty smart. The rest of the Eastling army over on this side, this detachment of Easterlings, are just waiting for the defenders to push elsewhere. And that's not a bad idea either. Letting the kind of defenders readjust their defense and push it elsewhere is actually a pretty good idea, because then when they finally attack, it's going to soften up that blow much easier. I mean, they have such a big advantage as well. I mean, it's not that huge. It's only a 1,500 man difference. Now, they probably have better quality, right? But this is pretty much the entire Eastling army plus Harad army, you know? They've brought their elites, whereas this is just, you know, the garrison of Esgaroth. So I really hope I'm pronouncing that right as well. Probably not. Also, if you guys have any good ideas on what battles that you want to see next, let me know in the comments down below. If there's any scenarios you really want to see, obviously keep in mind what is in Rise of Mordor right now, what maps they have, because there are a lot of cool custom maps as well. So it'd be really cool to get some custom maps in on this as well. You know, have Helm's Deep, you know, the Siege of Helm's Deep, like a proper custom battle. Have like Mount Doom and stuff, and even just like normal maps which are meant for a killer. Like, that'd be really cool as well, and we could definitely do some awesome scenarios. Like, I think it's Goodrich Castle is an awesome map. Castle Town is amazing. There's some really awesome ones out there which could make for some epic Lord of the Rings siege battles. Some more spearmen being brought in, but this kind of central defense has basically been broken right now. Doesn't look like there's much left here whatsoever for the defenders as more and more of the Eastlings fly into the city. Harad had done a pretty brutal job at breaking their way through this gate, but it was such a weak defense to begin with, right? Unlike the other positions like the center, which had, you know, Medallion swordsmen, these positions have been lit with a lot of weaker units. We have the Watch Pro Sentries, which is just no match for the Swords of the Serpent from Harad. Very strong infantry. And now that the archers have poured themselves into the city, this is just going to provide them with some great bonuses. Now they can actually start dueling these other archers. You know, the Rangers, again, like the other archers of Harad, aren't going to be heavily equipped to deal with like kind of a prolonged missile engagement. And they're obviously outnumbered as well by the archers. We're also getting men from Harad coming over to help out in this engagement. Oh, Medallion Defender, Medallion Garrison Commander has flown into this battle, trying to rally the men. He does not want to give up the central gate because he knows if this falls, the enemy will just flood in the city, looting and burning as they go. So he's rushed over here to try and rally the men, try and keep them sturdy and fighting. But Harad are going to turn up with their spearmen. I think this Medallion Commander is done for. I think he's right there. Yeah, he's right there. We'll watch his death. It'd be cool as well if they gave these commanders names as well. That'd be really cool if they decided to give these commanders names. So we could actually have, like, you know, we'd actually know who's fighting, and I can get officially Devin to narrate these commanders, and then we can see them in each battle. Hopefully this is the start of something very cool, and hopefully that these guys continue to make more and more of these awesome battles. And if you guys continue to watch, like, if these videos do really well, then I'm sure they'll be much more likely to create more epic scenarios. This Medallion Commander, is he running? He's trying to get the hell out of there. Oh, he's actually escaped. Is he routed, bro? No, he's just fled. Fall back to the inner city. Fall back. Oh no, as well over here, the breach point has been taken out. Wow. The spearmen are still alive, but they're just about breaking, trying to kill these crossbows. I don't know where these guys came from. They managed to take the 2 towers, which was shooting bow. Hey, 2 towers, love it. And it seems like the Easterling forces have been commanded to move to the center, or are they retreating? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that these guys are pulling back now. They don't want to lose any more men. They think they can take the city with what they've got here, which makes sense. So I think they're maybe just pulling back this force. That commander has told his lieutenant to fall back and get the hell out of there. The city is basically fallen now that the gates and walls have been gone down. Yeah, I mean, Dale don't have a lot of men left. Oh, they still have 1,500 defenders. Yeah, they're still only outnumbered 2-1, which is not that crazy.
The unit is running from the enemy.
Medallion Commander is still alive. Yeah, Medallion Commander has rallied. He just fell back a little bit. But he needs to be very, very careful. Also, please keep in mind as well when watching these battles, these aren't going to be super. Like obviously, both players are going to be trying to win in these, or both parties, I should say, or teams are going to be trying to win in these engagements. But they're not going to be winning to a point where they have to like super try hard. They're going to be trying to make this look cinematic and feel cinematic, but obviously trying to win at the same time. So you know, if you're an MLG pro at Total War or Killer, just keep that in mind. You know that you might be like, oh, why aren't all these units moving at the exact same time, or why aren't they pushing in these reinforcements right here? You know, and just bear that in mind. That you know, the story takes precedent over kind of the battle, but the story isn't going to be decided until the outcome's decided, right? One side isn't just going to pretend to lose so it makes the story better. If they lose, they lose. If they win, you know, it's going to completely change how the next battle plays out. Oh, the cavalry, have they poured in through now their position now, or do they come? I think they came back round. Yeah, they came back round, and now the cavalry is flying into the city. It's going to be great. And the Eastling cavalry looks so awesome. It really, really does. I love what the sub mod did with these coats and face helmets. And yeah, massive shout out to the official, well not the official, but the Rise of Mordor sub mod. Magpie does a great job with it, and like these battles would not be possible without that because you just wouldn't have enough units. And obviously shout out Rise of Mordor for their awesome looking units. So more and more spearmen. I love this spearman. It's kind of like quite Chinese in a sense. With like, I don't know, maybe it's just these like this hair on the edge of the spear. And the cavalry's breaking Medallion defense. Yeah, they're running them down now. Medallion defense is in full-on retreat. However, they're going to make their last stand right here, so that's not, you know, it's still going to be pretty decent. And I imagine that's what these forces are waiting for, right? They are going to be pushing in some cavalry into the city. What I want to do is I want to do that and then do that. Yeah, there we go. As the cavalry flies in through the city, how awesome is that?
Broken and I'm fleeing.
They're going to push their way in, and hopefully, you know, the Medallion defenders are going to be stretched to defend every single breach point. I mean, they only really have a few archers left. They have a lot of archers, and that's about it. A few of their other defenders are trying to form up, but where can they go? They can try and defend against these horses, or they can try and defend against these swordsmen. Cavalry's going to come flying into their rear, and then I imagine this cavalry's just going to be waiting. As soon as they turn their backs, this cavalry's going to come in and try and fight them as well.
They've given up and are running for their lives.
And here we go, the cavalry flying in. Oh no, they're just going to debate them out. It doesn't need to stick around, as these Vineland Wardens are very close to going down. The archer force for Harad has been basically decimated. I mean, I feel like Harad took the brunt of this assault, honestly. There's still a few remnants of defenders scattered throughout the city, pockets of resistance. I mean, just look at that. There you go, Medallion's retreat now. Esgaroth is in flames.
We are losing our advantage.
City burns.
The men are running, cowards.
I really wish there was more of a mechanic as well to burn the city a bit more. Because I wish you'd just be able to click a unit on him and just start burning down the city. Like, I think that'd be really, really cool. You know, just having the ability to set fire to a town. That does look pretty awesome. But as we go back to the defenders, everyone else, I think the attackers are just forming up, preparing their last stand. These archers are also getting a few volleys off for horse archers. So these are like a hybrid unit. They're volleying a few arrows over, but I think they're also receiving a few volleys as well back. That's not too bad. The cavalry's not too crucial as the defenders form up their last stand. There's even a unit of crossbows here, which would be great at pinning down the defenders there. They need to be careful though, because the archers will pick them apart. Okay, so the commander has given the order to his lieutenant to bring in the last of his reserves. They're looking probably just to pour in. I don't know, maybe these guys, these like obviously the reserve line, maybe they're just waiting for these guys to, you know, to form up, and if they need them, they're going to bring them in. Because, I mean, the Harad army has struggled pretty heavily to break through here. And maybe a couple units of spearmen will be more than enough as the forces do just break their way around. I think they're looking to get these shield bearers around the side. Now, they are going to be taking a few damage from these towers, but the towers should be captured pretty quickly, which should provide these guys with an easier route to the city center. And yeah, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see these reinforcements be called up. Because as I said, like, they don't really have a ton left. Like, they have 2,700 men, which is a lot. But without this army, that's like a good 1,000 men. So without that, they're going to be struggling a little bit. But as we can see, more and more of the Easterlings here just looking amazing. Again, a nice like, cinematic looking shot right there. As it just burns in the background. And the men cheer, they know their victory is at hand, looting and pillaging as they go. I mean, look at that as well, it's pretty dope. I mean, that's so awesome. Just looking at something like that, oh, that is amazing. I love that. I love the spears. And also there's some really, really cool spear kill animations in this formation as well. There's a kill animation where the enemy jumps like at the shield wall and someone just like skews him out the ground, out the sky. It's amazing. Literally probably my favorite animation in Attila Total War. So the attackers have basically got their whole way around, almost trying to completely envelop them. And as we can see, the crossbows are being brought up now. So one of the gates have been reclaimed? Is that going to be... Oh no, sorry, we are the defenders, aren't we, from this replay, yes. However, I don't think the defenders are going to win. So they've brought up their crossbows now. The crossbows are going to be trying to weaken up these swords, which is probably the smartest idea, right? Because if they can go ahead and push back the defenders, or at least kill the defenders' infantry, then their cavalry can just move in and take out the city. They have so much cavalry still left remaining. There is really only a matter of time until they do finally, do the damage they need, and just don't have the infantry to survive. But these crossbows are slow shooting. They're going to be very, very hard to really commit. And then we got another volley going in. And each volley takes out 10 to 15 infantry, and that's going to just be brutal. I think we're just waiting for the infantry to fully grasp their way around before pushing in, and these things are taking no quarter right now, no risk of losing this battle. These javelins need to be careful. The javelins went in to go and obviously throw their javelins at the Dalian spearmen. They've actually been caught out by these marksmen. However, I think we're going to be seeing infantry and cavalry flying in now to help silence this. Because these javelins, as I said, will rip through the Dalian spears. There's not really much they can do. Like, as you can see, a few of these shields do absorb them, but they just have such great armor piercing that they're going to break through them very quickly. As you can see right there, brutal volley. And then the cavalry is going to be trying to command it forward. Spearmen being brought up along with pikemen as well. I imagine we're going to be getting attacks from every single side. The cavalry just biding their time, ready to fly in. And over here as well, we have a huge engagement. There's just not enough infantry to defend every single breach point. They just do not have enough. But, Dale not going to go down without a fight. They're going to make Harad and the Eastlings bleed for every single inch they take of the city. Imagine, but yeah, exactly what I was saying. We're seeing the cavalry from Harad and these things fly in now, and they're just going to be having easy pickings against all of these archers. These archers are just so undefended, and I mean the central battle line does look like it's breaking as well. Again, if we just take a look here, we can see that the city is on fire, more infantry flying into the position. Oh, the general has been killed. I don't know from what army. The general has been slain. That's going to be a crucial blow for the next battle, right? If the next battle does retain in the Easterlings, then they're going to be, without the general, and I imagine that's going to have some sort of effect in the campaign, the overall campaign. It's going to play a role. Yeah, the defenders though have given it their all. Their position has been overwhelmed, only 30 seconds left. So even though the defenders, this was a surprise attack, so it was always looking like the attackers were gonna, you know, take them out. But I think for the surprise attack and for what Dale had, they did a pretty good job. I personally would have probably have defended the walls a little bit more, made it harder for them to breach that position. But with what Dale had, I think they did an admirable job at defending. They did what they could. And there we have it. The last of the battle is over. The defenders have been claimed, taken care of. And this is going to be the first engagement over for the defenders and in this campaign. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to see next in these scenario battles. I still have a couple more replays left to do to kind of carry this on. So as I said, let me know, you know, if you want to see more type of stuff like this. It'd be awesome if you guys would, because I would love to make more story-driven campaigns of cool cinematics and getting officially Devin do his amazing narration. So obviously go check him out. He does some amazing content on YouTube. I'll put his link in the description and in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.